Okay, everybody, welcome! We got our first map, best of 5. We got the FiSH Cup coming up today, another Korean tournament. Now, if you watch the channel a lot, then you have already seen the first FiSH Cup, which happened a couple of months ago, which was awesome. It's always great to get a glimpse into the Korean meta and just like different region meta in general. It doesn't even have to be Korea. We had some Chinese tournaments, of course, as well. But there's a little bit that's special with this. These are mixed teams that are currently playing. So basically the players, the teams, and the Korean fans, they decided, listen, if we let pre-made teams in, then it's going to be a very one-sided match simply because we have 2-3 top teams that will body everybody else. So what they did is something that we have done in Europe too a while ago, and they went for a team draft. So there is a couple of money sponsors, private sponsors that are sponsoring the tournament, and they drafted the players into teams. Apparently players got auctioned off, so the most popular, or I should say the best players in Korea were all thrown together into a pool, and then you could auction them. That's how the teams got created here. That's also why the team names will probably not ring a bell for you guys. We have Pentheos going up against Cat, and we are already in the late stage of the tournament. So currently we are in the semi-final. We have 2 semi-finals that we're going through today, and all of those games here are best of 5s. Now the ban on Vala and a ban on Tychus here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It was actually the Koreans that brought Tychus into the European meta as well as more of a staple, especially with the Master Assassin as a level 4 talent. I've been talking about this in the past quite a lot, because I always like how these adjustments are happening. And we got a very, very early Lunara here for Pentheos as Relic locks it in. It's a best of 5, as pointed out. And I'm kind of hyped for this. Now, I gotta admit that quite a few of the names on each side don't really ring a bell. As I said, these are among the top players on the Korean server. Now, of course, when you're looking over to someone like Gonda or you see Hero in here, then the former HTC players are obviously going to be huge and they will impact the games here a lot. But it's still kind of nice to see there's a bit more of a mix happening. And also, it gives some players a chance to shine in this environment, and then maybe in future tournaments where we will have pre-made teams and not drafted teams, they can then also get a bit of a shot. So I would say that this is a win-win. Entertains people, makes the teams a little bit more even, the tournament more exciting. So yeah, it's going to be pretty nice. Leo gets banned. We got a Nuburak, Greyman, and Stukov. So they're already going for a very quick sniper combo. A Nuburak engage, Stukov follow up, Greyman can come in with a bullet. He has the wave clear, of course. That's also kind of nice. But they're lacking a little bit is interrupt potential. Junkrat was banned out. Now they have some tools that can be used to interrupt any attempt to turn in some of the gems. But it's not like they are rocking some insane ones like, I don't know, like a Chromie, a Junkrat, and you name it. You know the drill. Anwin gets banned out. No Crybaby in this one. And, well, what else do we have? We got on the left side right now the next double pick coming in now that the bans are over. We already have the Haka in play. So not only do you have the global, you have pretty much your side laner locked in. But I'm still looking at damage dealers. I want to specifically also see what gets added on the side of Team Cat. Because with Greymane, you can do a lot of dirty things if you have additional poke that keeps targets low. That's why Greymane and Liming for the longest time were a thing. Garrosh and Lulcio. Okay. And that leaves us with the last 2 here. Hero in particular is of course also going to be interesting. Now they need a side laner that is going to deal with their Haka, and they go for Sonya here. Okay, Sonya could technically even go for a leap. Now I doubt it a bit, but if they want to go full YOLO on this one, then the Nuburak engaged with the leap as a follow-up is the thing. And Tassadar is in. Here we go. Yeah, this is already shaping up to be a good one. Tassadar, of course, brings that AoE too, and a lot of damage in those team fights, so that's kind of neat. But what do we get for Gonda on the last pick here? What do they need? A little bit more damage would be nice on their end, of course. Either they could go with the triple melee, which I doubt a bit, especially against this lineup. But getting another range damage dealer would really solve their problems. And, well, they go Maiev. They go for the hard engage here with Gonda on Maiev, trying to lock especially, of course, that backline down. Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. Game on. First map in the best of 5 here in the semi-final of the FiSH Cup. Let's make it happen. Welcome! Game number 1, Pantheos against Team Cat. Let's go, everybody. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Gonda on the left side, played by Garrosh. We got, well, the other way around. Sekiro on Maiev, Wookie and Lucio, Relic on Lunara, Bear on Dehaka, and on the right side of the map, Tacita, played by Hero, Vast on Sonya, Pandagom on Greymane, Arpion on Anubarak, and Red Pepper is playing good old Stukov. Yeah, red pepper, black pepper, I mean, at the end of the day, it just depends on what exactly you fancy more. But we already have some spicy plays right here in the middle. Ah, perfect transition. Procaster right here, look at that, beautiful. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. So Maiev is the baseline. I mean, obviously there's the changes that now came in also with the patch. The interesting part for Maiev in particular is that they buffed her containment disc. So now after you come out of the containment disc, you are looking at an additional silence that you drop on your opponent, and that is just insane. I mean, honestly, that's just crazy. That's one of those things where I really thought, well, I'm not really sure if that was needed. She already saw quite a bit of play, and granted, the cage is always awesome, but it's not like we've not seen Containment Disc at all. Now, as we're heading into our 1 minute mark, the camps are of course spawning, and with that we already have the teams locking them in as quickly as they can. On the left and the right side we have the bruiser camps pretty much taken at the same time, or at least attacked. Still, of course, our 1 versus 1 situation with the Haka down at the bottom of the map. Tacita went into the static charge. We've seen a lot of Psionic Storm lately, especially, of course, thinking about the Korean-Chinese tournament that we had the other day, which ran actually a lot of Tacita. Mainly focused into the Psionic Storm in a lot of instances. And even during Meta Madness, we've seen Tacita off BSD quite a few times. And talking about him, he is down! Yeah, Garrosh doing his thing, and that is the end of the Protoss. First blood in the game. As we have Pantheos locking in the first kill, and of course now attempting to push through the middle and try to take some of these structures down early on. Level 4, the Sudden Vengeance is now in. We get the Lurker Strain. They're trying to make the play for Greymane, and he is low, gets isolated, tethered, and that's the end of the Wolfie. Gonda was really, really low there, and Red Pepper was trying his best to keep Greymane alive. But as the dust settles, it's a second kill for Team Pantheos. They are doing well, and they are now also, of course, on the move to turn in a few gems, dominate the rotation between the middle and the top. Yeah, Arpion with the interrupt, good for him. But has to be very careful, because with that combo of Maiev plus Garrosh, there's a lot of CC and just a lot of engage. That combo can really mess you up. Once that you are locked in by one of the two, there's a good chance that you are going down or will have some problems there. But now, yeah, tether attempt maybe. Sun comes already out. We still have 33 gems delivered, so the blue team is off to a very, very good start here. And the red team has to bring it back. Now, for them, of course, it is still the idea that you isolate targets. I mean, if you think about the lineup that they're playing, especially also with the electric fence, with the barriers that Tacita can set down, it's all about jumping on a single target and blowing that up. That's what Anubarak Stukov is all about. Greymane emphasizes that even more, and with Tacita you can try to cut the path of retreat off even further. And here they go, but all of a sudden it's Arpion who might be in trouble. Anubarak is eating a lot of damage, and Lunara in particular. Bambi is making quite the play here. She should actually be quite high up on the damage now too. We can double check that real quickly. And yes, indeed, 9,000 damage. Now, a lot of this is, of course, a bit of stats padding over time with a DOT. But then again, she is still keeping Stukov pretty busy and is murdering that front line. Anubarak in particular is starting to have some trouble here whenever he's looking for the engage. Level 7 talents are kicking in for the two of them. And now we got the good vibrations after the off the wall. But it's getting dangerous because there's a lot of gems in play and both teams have a chance to turn in. At least Cat will have one in a few seconds, but if you look at the slight advantage that you have for Pantheos, that's pretty big. There's the drag, beautiful follow-up. Nicely done. They try for a noob and he goes down. Well done here. That was an important kill, and now they get the second. Guys, this is a disaster. They lost 30 gems in that encounter. 30 gems are now down the drain. Beautiful engage on Anubarak, and then the attempt to recover the gems by Sonya gets thwarted by the blue team. They lock him in, take him down. And now we have the first web weavers moving through the map. On level 1, the low blow with the level 7 growing infestation, so going heavily into the lurking arm. But at least up to this point, it doesn't really help them a lot. Level 7 also pointing it out here, we got the splintered spear in. So not going for the setup that we've seen lately in North America, but also in Europe with the level 7 talent, the choking pollen. Splintered spear instead, adding of course also a bit more of that AoE damage for the waves and for the team fights that you really like to have. But as the blue team pushes, the question is, can they get the level 10? Because they are a level ahead of their opposition, and if they are now locking in the next talent, they might be able to push this even further. But I'm not sure if the timing is working out perfectly for them here. They're gonna try at least. But yes, here we go. So, there's the tether, there's the jump, the level 10 is in, and that's a kill on Stukov. And the team is in full retreat. The disc came out, keep in mind, a lot has changed with that. So now you have, once again, the silence after you take it, which is actually pretty sick city. Talking about silence, they also have isolation now on level 10. The fort is down, 5 kills to 0 at the bottom of the map. The wall has at least fallen. And that is such a good start for Pantheos into this best of 5. And it's always interesting because with mixed teams, you never really know what's going to happen. You can, in a captain's draft mode, always, you know, draft players together that you think are individually really, really strong. That doesn't mean that they are gonna mesh up well as a unit. So it's always kind of funny when you see a tournament mode like this. It's really good to shake things up. I mean, of course, eventually want to have the normal pre-made teams to see the highest level of play. But seeing just some players mesh together for a tournament is always fantastic. But yeah, it's more of a tournament thing. Something that you do over a weekend. And well, for now, we got level 10 on both sides. And there's the leap. Leap is in. Sonya already with a jump. But they cocooned at the same time. And that's 2 cooldowns that they just burned that are not really going to help them a lot here. So, yeah. Those did nothing. 2 big cooldowns got burned. They got nothing out of it. Now we have, Dehaka moving back. Stukov is trying to do his best here to also make this middle as unattractive for the blue team as possible. But look at Bambi jumping around time and time again and getting those hits in, especially against Greymane. And with this low HP pool, he's of course not going to make any big moves. There's a second turret as well for Team Pantheos. And as they're moving into the middle, they're hoping to take another fort down. And yep. Things are looking very, very good for them. Once that you take all 3 forts in the middle and your opponent hasn't taken any, it becomes so difficult for the red team to make a move onto a turning point. But at least for now, they're saving the mid lane. So that's already a bit of a relief, I'd say. The bottom of the map is obviously lost, so Dehaka is able with the web weavers to take this one down. No problems. Tacita is still sitting topside because he needs to protect the keep. But that means that down at the bottom of the map we have only 4 heroes. So they are chasing and Tacita is still missing. It's a 5 versus 4, the isolation. The leap again not doing anything. Oh my god, Vasto. Unlucky twice now. Just not hitting those. First his target got cocooned, now he missed. Stukov dies as a result and the pressure at the bot lane continues for a bit longer. Puts damage onto the wall at the keep itself. And yep, here's the party now. Dehaka moving into the middle. He is always the global and can move in when there's need for it. 6 kills to 0. Yeah, that's a bit of a smackdown for Team Cat in the early game. So the kittens are not really doing a whole lot. I mean, if you hear Team Cat, then you don't know what you're in for, right? It could be a lion, could be a puma, something like that. But it seems like we're talking about some sleepy kittens for now. Whereas Team Pantheos is going full predator on them. I started to lock them down slowly. So there's enough gems for Team Cat to at least get 1 turn in. Remember, they lost a lot earlier, but now we have 80 in their hands, and it seems like at least Arpion is able to turn in. A little bit surprised, honestly, that Pantheos didn't guard this top turn in spot a bit better, considering that they are in such a great spot, given that they still have fountains and could fall back here. It's level 13 versus level 13 on the other hand, so this is an even battle now. With a 1 level lead, they want to be a bit cautious on this one. But this is definitely the time in the game when there might be more of a chance for Team Cat to bring it back. Now at the bottom of the map, the Haka is using his global as best he can to apply some macro pressure, and that forces Sonya back. So now if you're the blue team, you can take a fight for the middle once again. And let's not forget, we're talking mainly about a turn-in for the red team because they have 75 gems still in their hands, but we have 49 also for Pentheos. This isn't enough to give them a turn-in, but that gets them really close. And if they deliver those, it would also, of course, mean that they can't lose out on them. And the Haka in particular needs to make that move. And there he is, turning in. Cocoon already used. They're trying to isolate Garrosh. Yeah, and that didn't really... that didn't really work out either for them. So, yeah. So 6 kills to 0. We have at the same time... Now level 15, so they're moving on to 16 now, and a talent advantage would, of course... I mean, honestly, if they get a talent advantage and they get a kill, they might just think about going boss and go for the top keep. Yeah, and look at Greymane again. Greymane also in trouble. There's the flip, though, as Garrosh makes the engage. They're looking for the target, and Arpian gets away. Lunara with 32,000 damage so far. Relic, hoppity hop in the backline the entire time here. Lunara going full beast mode. And there we go, the double leap, and Bambi with the kill. Ruthless. And Nuburak is dead, 7 kills to 0, and that is level 16 in another second for them. Lunara, by the way, also doing fairly well for them on the damage against the minions. As you can see, she's at 78,000. Now, that doesn't get her anywhere near what Tacita brings to the table. I mean, duh. But still, this is really, really powerful for them. And we talked earlier about one of the talents that contributes to that. And that is, of course, the Splintered Spear on level 7. That helps you a lot with this. So, yeah, good for them. With the level 30, we got the It Hungers. Alright. So, with that, also a slight adjustment for them. Cooldown reset is always neat if you can play around this a bit. They have enough lockdown as is anyways. 7 kills to 0. But the level 16 talent is really... Yeah, you don't want to go up against that. It's an unfair advantage, you could say. But yeah. Alright, so... I'll move straight up through the bot lane once more. And... sorry, through the middle. And they're gonna try and get that hit in right here. And they should be able to take that fort down. I mean, if they really want it, they're gonna get it. But 16 is so close for the red team that they might be a bit more hesitant and try and play it slow. And since the web weavers are now touching ground, one of the worst things that can happen to you when you claim the objective is that you lose a hero before it's there. So yeah, they played a bit slower. They didn't rush for the fort right away. They take their time. They still have web weavers at the top and the bottom of the map. I'm talking about the bottom of the map. The Haka missed the drag. They're going for the dinosaur for just a second. Now the fort in the middle, it's gone, obviously. But yep, down here, they're still making a little play for the wall. And of course, they need to get something out of it, right? So they have to think about where do we actually attack. Sonya is now traveling towards the top, and up to this point at least, Cat has done a good job defending. They lost the fort, but that was inevitable. There's no way to save that. But they still hold those keeps. Now the Haka has been able to take the bottom walls down, so that helps, mostly. Yeah, there it is. But they need a bit more than that, and the experienced lead is there. Maiev walking through that fence like a boss. Okay, yeah, walks through that fence, pretty easy plays there. And now this one is blooming big on the map. Because eventually someone is going to take it. And there's like 2 scenarios that we could think about. Either Team Cat says, alright guys, we're so far behind, let's YOLO. We need to do something. And they just try and move in, force a fight before level 20 is ready for Team Pentheos. Or Pentheos just slows this all down, prevents turn-ins, or will try to. And then gets 20 and might just go towards the top. Because what they can do with the Haka and their team is have the Haka at the bot lane, push these lanes out, get the Siege Giants, and just simply stay somewhere over here and then force Cat to play on 2 lanes, rotate someone down, the Haka tunnels top, and they play out a 4 versus 5 battle. So there's a lot of options now they could make these moves. But there's 127 gems now in the hands of the red team, which means that if they turn in, they have a potential double turn-in. That is a lot of momentum that you can gain. But for that to work, you need to make your move now. And that's a bad start. That is a really bad start. And Nuburak trying to dive in. 50% HP. Gets flipped, taunted. Leap from Sonya. And it's Lucio that's dead first. Lucio is dead. They get Stukov too, though. And Nubra got saved for a second. And still has the carapace. The disc is out too. And here's the second kill. Tacita is eliminated. They're making a play for Pandagom. And they lost 80 gems. No, 80 gems. Quest completed for Maiev on the baseline with a level 20 talent that just cucked in. So now they have even a bigger advantage. I'm not quite sure actually these days what I think about these baseline talents that automatically activate when you have a certain talent. It just feels like that shouldn't be displayed as a baseline talent. I guess they're just too lazy to add something on the talent itself, and so they're making it like baseline, even though baseline meant for the last couple of years something completely different. But it just seems like a lazy way for them to get around it. Stitches has the same thing, of course, with his level 13. And as long as it was only one, I guess it made a little bit of sense. But yeah, these things it should be displayed a bit different. I guess for most people that won't really matter too much, but honestly, from an observer's perspective, a bit different. Anyways, now that we got this one kicking in with a vigorous Volta. I like the name though, so yeah, bonus points for that. We have them now with a mad advantage. Now they obviously got the boss at the top, so that's already doing damage to the keep. We have nearly enough gems for them to turn in for Team Pentheus, and they're going to try and go for the death blow here soon, TM. We have them with 10 kills to 1. And who was feeding on the blue team? It was Lucio that was feeding. Yeah, that's a report right there. I mean, I'm sorry, Wookie, but that is not gonna be that great. Good name though. Woo! Okay, so Lucio. I mean, honestly, Fitz. Lucio's just sliding on walls, and the entire time is like, woo! So yeah, great name for the hero. I like it. So someone is cosplaying a little bit. Vastos with 50 gems now. Juicy target. 53,000 damage for Lunara. And it is a party time. Okay, so all the way around level 20, there's the web beavers, and well, now you gotta make a move. Because level 20 is now available finally for both sides. They are looking for Tacita, and he's just piecing out, but there's the tether. And thankfully for him, Garrosh wasn't close enough to get the follow-up, or that could have been a disaster. Inuburak with the rewind went for epic enter on level 16 to epically enter the opponent's backline with the epicenter. There's a leap. Oh my god! Lunara is down, but that was clutch. She actually iframed out of the Sonya leap. Well done, good dodge. Oh, Konda! He's alive! Woo! Lucio, look at you. Well done. But they're still suffering. It's a 5 versus 4, but of course these web beavers, they are attacking every single lane now. And even without Lunara, 1 or 2 of these keeps are gonna fall. The first one is already gone. The one at the top is also gonna bite the dust. So that's 2 keeps eliminated. The battle goes on at the bottom of the map. Stukov coming in with a slap. But that looks... that is a disaster. I mean, good on them to take Lunara down. That kept them in the game, I suppose. If she doesn't die here, you can pretty much... Yeah, this is pretty much over if she doesn't die in that situation. But die she did. So now maybe some turn-ins for the red team finally. Because they haven't turned in once. And they got 100 gems. That's a double turn-in. So yep, here come the first web beavers for them. Wouldn't it be incredible if they could really push this back? I just don't see it happen given how far back these waves are right now. Tacita is doing his best to play around that a little bit, but yeah, this is going to be difficult. Level 22 to 21. Difficult but not impossible. We've seen crazy comebacks, but it's not going to be easy. Alright, there's the move, the flip forward, leap comes in, they try for the kill, and it looked good. Greymane is dead, Stukov though, Dehaka, he gets out, Maiev as well, the drag, and the kill against Sonya, I suppose. Ooh, that is some nice healing there. But the drag connects again, and this time she indeed dies. They are going for the rest of the team too, I guess. Oh, Gyarados, you beast! And the Nuburak is dead too. The Cockroach eliminated. Nearly a 5-man wipe. Tacita, the last Proto standing. And now they move straight up for core, ignoring the Web Weavers completely. They're taking a few of the structures down. But that is, of course, not possible anymore. Nicely done. 5-man team wipe. Everybody dead. Everybody down. It is Team Pantheas with game number 1 as they lock in the W on Tomb of the Spider Queen against Team Cat. Nicely done. GG and well played with Lunara rocking it out on 64,000 damage. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Cursed Hollow, map number 2 in the best of 5 series, yet the semi-final of the FiSH Cup. Yeah, good job by Team Pantheas, was pretty dominant on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now Tomb of the Spider Queen can be a little bit snowbally if you don't get a foothold in the mid game, which is pretty much what happened to the red team. So Team Cat will have to bring this back, prove themselves, if they want to have a chance here. This is a single elimination tournament, meaning there's no loser bracket. So if you lose one match, then you are out of the tournament. Only the strong will survive, and so far Team Pantheas has been a little bit stronger. But if that continues here, that's of course a different question, and one that we are going to answer soon. Vala bans, Zeratul by the way instantly banned. Yeah, they don't want to deal with him. Has the AoE when you're going into the lanes to cleave those minion waves down quickly. And on top of that, we get the ban on Junkrat. I mean, Junkrat these days just gets the ban hammer over and over again. It's the same in Europe. Junkrat, if he doesn't get banned, he gets played. There's so many cool combos that you can play with him. A pre-stun into a mine, the displacement that he has, the continuous poke outside an objective at relative safety, the damage he brings, the mobility that he himself has. There's a lot going on with that hero. And talking about mobility, we got Dehaka again. I, by the way, love that we have Dehaka and Falstad being a big part of the meta, because there was a year, I want to say, maybe 1.5, where globals played no role whatsoever. And I really think it takes something away from the game. I feel if you have a game and a meta where globals are strong, maybe not all powerful, but definitely something that is viable, especially on medium and bigger maps, that's super, super important, because it allows for more macro game. You're not always focused on team fights. You can try and play some more tactical strategies when you are on a map. And I really enjoy that. So for Dehaka and Falstad, that's obviously big. There's a couple of others that can fill similar roles. Back in the days of ETC Stage Dive in HGC, you had that, of course, taken maybe to an extreme, but I really like that. Brightwing, another example. And there's the Birdie. So double global play already. Very different focus from Team Cat now in game number 2, trying to just play around those rotations a bit more, which I honestly enjoy, so that's kind of neat. And the Malfurion plus Tracer comp also gives us an inclination of what's happening here on the side of Team Pantheas. If you have Malfurion for Tracer, you can really empower her to go deep with the heal over time, and also the overheal that you can get. So that's insanely strong, and she is going to try and take the bird down in particular. Needs to, of course, be careful that Dehaka doesn't connect the tongue. Needs to be careful that Stukov isn't able to silence her there. She needs the mobility, but again, Falstad will be, I don't want to say in trouble, he might be able to make it out of those points, but he is going to be the one who has to pay a lot of attention to what he's doing here. Now we get a Meridian ban, and yeah, let's have a look at the next double rotation, because we need a frontliner for them. And Stitches has been banned out too, which is kind of sad. With Cursed Hollow, there's always also the chance that you're of course getting some crazy picks towards the end. Haven't seen the Sylvanas yet. First game, obviously, only. But yeah, there's Diablo. Ah, we're going full Diablo in this one. Yeah, those kids have been playing Diablo Resurrected. It's only a bit of a meme, by the way. There were some heroes in the past that have been revived because someone played them again. I don't know, because there was something new, a new event added somewhere in another game. And they were like, yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. And then they just like sort of reinvented the meta a little bit with all of that. But yeah. The Dibbles and Leo. I can get behind that. It's also good combo potential. Greymane, yeah, that already puts Tracer on notice. When she goes for Falstad, Greymane will go for her. And there is Hanzo. Alright, arrow into Apocalypse, always a dream, but a bit unlikely. Then again, Leoric coming in with the Entomb could also give us the meme shot. Either way, good lineups. We have Cursed Hollow coming up as our second map of the series, everybody. So let's get this party started. The FiSH Cup semifinal, the best of 5, map number 2. In game number 2, Cursed Hollow, Gonda on Diablo. We have Relic on Tassadar, Berber on Leoric, and Sekiro with Hanzo as Wookiee locks in Malfurion to carry the team to victory from the backline. Right side of the map, Team Cat with Hero on Falstad, Pandagom on Greymane. We have Arpion on Garrosh this time, and as you can see, Vasto on Dehaka. And Stukov gets played by Red Pepper. Yeah, these boys, they have need to redeem themselves a little bit. Game number 1 didn't really look too good. But again, can get snowballed. Can always assume that that's what happened. And now with the double global, it's of course a very different approach also. Now, they have kill potential, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make it sound like they can only play the macro game and there's nothing else. No, they have a lot of kill potential. Stukov, Garrosh can set the damage dealers up. Dehaka can always try to create that numbers advantage that you can gain when he tunnels in. And the same is to an extent also true for the birdie, so Falstad can try to pull that off as well. Garrosh over here with the pleb horse. And now we'll find out if this could potentially be a very quick 3-0 for Team Pantheos, or if Team Cat is really clawing their way back in. You get it? Clawing, right? Yeah. I need more coffee. I don't know what to tell you. So, Greymane obviously is busying himself immediately on the camps. One of the main reasons why he's in the game in the first place, or at least in this one. You have an insane amount of clear on mercenary camps, and that really helps on a big map with a lot of camps. You can just simply set him solo on a camp, takes a little bit longer, or you get someone else in to help him out a little bit. But we've seen that on lots of maps, that you're trying to at least get one hero that can help you with the mercenary camps. Another good example would be Garden of Terror. Whenever it's played, it's the map that currently has the most camps, and you will always have one hero in there whose job it is to take those mercenary camps whenever possible, just to create more lane pressure, get the team a bit more of experience, and so on and so forth. So for now, our little battle down here, and Hero is actually doing quite well, all things considered. So Relic is so far not at a point where he can threaten Falstaff enough. Ghastly Reach after the Consume Vitality for Leo. Yeah, and with the Siege Giant. I mean, this is starting to be an enormous amount of pressure down here at the bottom of the map. A Relic is desperately trying to force Tassadar back, but as long as Tassadar survives this, that bot lane is going to suffer damage. And that forces a rotation out of Malfurion. So that was really good. Very nice moves by Hero down at the bottom of the map. The entire tower is down. One tower is down, and the gate has been damaged too. That's great for the birdie. And he forced Malfurion down to the bottom of the map, which now results in the mid lane getting pressured a lot more than it would have been. And Malfurion takes a long way around to ensure that nobody's waiting for him and takes him down. So that was really cool. All of this started with Tassadar, Tracer going up against Falstad and losing that battle. Yeah, level 6 versus level 6. And more damage here in the back. Pandagom gets attacked, but he survives. And Falstad locks this one in for free, I guess. I don't think Relic can get him. No. Yeah, that wasn't even close, honestly. We've seen so many close encounters with interrupts, but this one was fairly obvious. Right, teams in the middle. Haven't seen a single kill yet. Everybody's paying attention on the rotations. And look at that. Yeah, Falstad also got away. They were trying to gank up on him, and that didn't work out. But they have the early level 7. And that's the one thing that we always have to keep our eye on a little bit. That if you are in a position where you have two globals, late game is your friend as well. and you don't have to take every single team fight. And in addition to that, thanks to the Globals, they already have also the first tribute, so they can play the tribute game as much as they want. Because once that... This situation, for example, is absolutely perfect. If Relic at any point is forced towards the top to help out the rest of the team, then Falstad can just simply push this out a little bit and then fly in late. Yeah, that was a nice attempt at a gank at the top, but Dehaka is able to make his way back out of it. Ooh, and we have a bit of a pause. Now, what's going on the map right now is that we have another camp taken. He just started it, though, and the tribute is spawning in 2 seconds. Now, what they're going to try and do is... he apparently dropped out of the game. So they're going to try and get Garrosh to interrupt maybe a bit, and Red Pepper is in a similar spot. As long as he can control this, he can go for interrupts. In an ideal world, what we would try to do is get the Siege Giants, push them onto the lane, and then Falstad is gonna have... Falstad would have 2 options here. If the Siege Giants would already be taken, for example, Falstad could either try to protect the Siege Giants and then push for the fort, which eventually would move Pentheus down, and they could take the second tribute for free, which of course would put them close to a curse. Or Falstad could fly towards the top side, and then Tracer has to either decide whether she wants to join the top battle and make it a 5v5, or if she leaves her allies outnumbered and deals with the Siege Giants at the bottom. So the timing is not really working out that perfectly for Team Cat, because they just now started the camp here, but the idea behind it is a really, really good one. And if you make that play properly, then you get the tribute for free pretty much. Or you're getting an insane amount of damage at the bottom fort. Those are pretty much the only 2 options. Now, with them starting it late, it's all going to depend on how long they can interrupt the channel here. Because the blue team, after the failed gank against the Haka up at the top, what they are likely now going to try and do is make a big play for their tribute. It's a bit problematic in the sense that the spawning position is much better for the red team. It's easier to interrupt for them as well. Especially if, for example, Falstad decides that he is okay moving topside and helping them out. But one way or another, this could have been timed slightly better for the red team. It is still a dangerous situation for the blue team, and not something that they should take they should really pay some attention here. If you don't really pay attention to that, then you're either going to suffer damage at the bottom now because of that gray main Falstad setup, or you're going to lose another tribute, which would put you with your back to the wall because you already lost the first one. And since there is also a slight, I mean, granted, tiny, but there is a small advantage in experience for the red team. So given that, there is a chance, of course, that you are going to end up in a situation where your opponent takes level 10 around the next objective, around the next tribute, while you don't have it yet, and then you are going to be in a bit more trouble even. Well, and we're back, everybody. So, the problem with the disconnect of Garrosh has been solved. Some PC issues, apparently, so I think he had to restart completely. But yeah, the situation evolves. Tracer was trying to make the same move as earlier, attempting to apply pressure to Falstad. If she successfully pulls that off, the team can fight because Falstad has to go back. But now exactly what I talked about earlier has come through. Free tribute for the red team, which puts them to 2 tributes to 0. And now the Siege Giants are coming down to the bottom of the map, which is of course going to pressure this lane even further. And this time the blue team is reacting very, very quickly, sending Gonda down to the bottom just so they don't suffer too much here. And what does that result in? It results in a claim at the top boss. Boss at the bottom left is also getting taken, but that means that Falstad has a little bit more time to empower those Siege Giants to maybe take the second tower down, so that's good for them. Garrosh is even moving around. There's another Siege Giant camp at the top side now. So we have, all in all, very similar moves from both of the teams, but it's Team Cat that slowly but steadily edges a little bit further ahead. Now, not to a big extent. They but down here, boss is taken. Top side, same thing. And now the opportunity to go even for a curse. And yes, this is exactly what I mentioned earlier. If you get the second tribute this early, if you use your globals to get a bit ahead, you might get the double and then just go for curse with level 10. And that's exactly what's happening here. They get level 10, the opponent's team can't fight, they get the curse, and now this boss at the top lane is going to be more impactful. They down here can easily defend. Hero is already doing that. Then he can fly into the middle to help out. Level 10 is finally ready on both sides. That gives us the Dragon's Arrow, Lightning Breath, and Entomb. But for Team Cat, this is obviously great. That timing worked out perfectly. And oftentimes we're talking about, you know, timing's not really mattering all that much. And in many, many cases, that is also true. But if you think about what happened here, it was a 5-second window, 5 to 10-second window that made all of this possible, which is pretty impressive. Now, that's 1 fort down at the top, 1 fort falling at the bottom of the map. So this curse is getting a lot of value. Easy XP, of course, here too, as Hero comes in, just takes all of this down. Leo still has to sit topside because the boss and the minion wave are doing some work to the top gate. And that is a big blow against the blue team. That's a huge blow against them. Yeah, another attempt to go for a Garrosh, but Arpion makes it out of the game. Not out of the game, please, not again. He made it out of the game once, and we don't want to see that happen again. But he makes it out of that little skirmish that he had here between the tanks without being locked down, isolated, or anything on those lines. So it's time to go for the camps. We have the mercenary camp at the bottom left and top right taken once more. And it seems like Falstad can now take that fort. And this is the last one. Last fort is down. Arpion is just showing and says, well, stay away from the birdie. He's my friend and I'm going to protect him. We haven't seen a single kill yet, by the way. And as you can tell, we currently have nearly level 13. So, yeah. Not a single kill. 7-8 minutes into the game. Very, very tactical play so far. Very strategic how they played this out. The draft, of course, very much so in the... And look at Greymane. Every time these camps pop up, Greymane is there. Greymane is doing what he's supposed to do. He takes the camps. He allows Falstad to push with them. The bird is able to do a lot of damage at the bottom of the map. Should eventually take those walls down, probably, to make sure that they don't have vision. Also don't want to waste too much time on that just yet. So now we have level 13 talents. That small lead in experience is now slowly starting to add up and snowball them a bit further. And Tracer still has to deal with Falstad. Yeah, level 13 gives her the jumper. So she's gonna get more dangerous as time continues. The Ominous Wraith is in too. And Falstad hasn't made a choice yet. Falstad is still waiting on the 13, but he flies in now. And this is a 5 versus 3. The arrow comes out. There's Greymane. That's a kill. 1 down. And they're going for number 2. Yes, Malfurion is dead as well. Got very heavily isolated there. And that's 2 kills to 0. The first 2 kills of the game. And it empowers Team Cat even further. The power of globals, everybody. Of using a big map and just playing a macro. Here it is in full display as Team Cat is just beautifully executing all of this. There was a hero at the top and at the bot lane for the blue team, and they just decided, alright guys, let's clump up in the middle and just go for them. That's exactly what they did, and it worked so well. I'm not gonna lie, it is awesome to see a good global strategy. I really, really like it. There are chances for the blue team to bring it back. With a couple of kills, they can open up some windows that would allow them to do that. But it is just brilliant to see like what you can do when you have good coordination and really good shot calling with global heroes that also know what they have to do. And Falstad and Dehaka have so far been playing this nearly perfect. They have been aggressive, but not too aggressive. They have paid attention to ganks. Communication between the members of the team obviously was really good. The bird only pushing when he realized, well, I can't do that right now. Now they're trying to go for the next boss, and 16 is on the board for them too. Which, actually, I really thought that the blue team would try and go and take this as quickly as they can. Because if they don't, this is a potential double boss play. Maybe they're a bit afraid that they're going to be hit at the boss. But not even checking is a little bit strange. So yeah, they are going to lose out on that. That's a bit late. That is honestly a bit late. They might still be able to make that work. Garrosh is already here. Falstad is close too. So that timing might just work out for them. And yeah, Hanzo's shredding it. Okay. But look where everybody else is. This is... Oh, maybe it's not working after all. No, it's not. The kill. And there it is. As I said, they started it late. And it looked for a second like they still might be able to pull it off. But nope. No, no, no. Now there's a boss at the top. There's a boss at the bottom. The play didn't work out after all. Maybe 2 seconds were missing. Maybe 3. as it stands, it's 3 kills to 0, and what a powerful play now. Everybody is moving in for the keep. The top keep is gonna fall 100%. The bottom keep is likely gonna fall too. And this is just an utter disaster for them right now. There's the attack against Gonda. The keep will be dropped. The top keep is already gone. We might see the game end right here. 12 minutes in, and Team Cat is playing cat and dog with Team Pantheas. They just argue about who's the dog in this scenario. 2 keeps are down. The core, I mean, the shields are going to be attacked. I don't think they're going to really lose any core points. Actually, with 2 bosses on the core for just a second, they might lose a couple. There's now also level 16 finally in. Debilitating Flames. We got the heavy-handed. And that's another curse. That is curse number 2. They took 6 tributes, whereas Team Pantheas didn't take a single one. I mean, there's an arrow. Oh, big arrow. Oh my god. Big arrow. That one is flying all the way to an A. Narrowly missed the target. Falstad at least died. The first kill for the blue team. They're trying to come back here, and they get the kill against Stukov. They're able to do some damage, everybody. They're still pressured by the curse, so they can't push it too hard. But they at least got 2 kills. Now, what does that mean? More or less nothing. It only means that they're not losing the game right now. In this moment. Outside of that, it doesn't mean anything, because all their lanes are pressured. They are cursed. They have to make sure those catapults don't get on the core. And they had to protect their keep. They are still 2 keeps down, and they still haven't taken a single fort on the red team side. So that's still bad news. Now, don't get me wrong, those 2 kills are nice. Good for them. Maybe it boosts morale a bit, but they're still a level behind. And they still have to do a lot more if they want to win this game. They need to take structures down, and they weren't able to do that with the kills that they just got because they had to defend. They didn't have the time to push, and that leaves them still in a very, very dire situation. So, yep, there it is. But level 20 will be ready first for Team Cat. And we'll see what's going on now in the next team fight, because that one will decide a lot. The next team fight will either bring Team Pantheas a little bit closer to even experience with Team Cat, or it will result in a bit of a smackdown. And it's all of a question of when exactly it's going to happen, because level 20 is now half a level away for Team Cat. And I don't really think that the red team necessarily wants to fight unless they're getting an advantage. Falstad is going to maybe fly into the middle. No, not yet. Arpian. I'm a little bit surprised they're fighting here in the first place, but now the birdie's flying in. Arrow is already connected. Barrel rolls out. Was a bit too far off. And as all of this happens, and level 20 kicks in, the Siege Giant's at the bottom and doing damage towards the core. Or to those shields. But 20 is now in. And with that, we got Unleashed. Yeah, we got the wind tunnel, and they want the last and final keep. Yeah, they want the kill and they want the game, and they're likely gonna get it. Diablo down, but he had the souls. He'll be back. Here comes the Entomb. Still no level 20 for Pantheas. They're going up against Storm Talon, and it's rough going. But that's a very nice move against Stukov, and it leads to a kill. That's a kill on Diablo for the second time in this fight on the other hand, and this time he's down for the full duration. But they are pushing them back. Guys, the blue team is coming in and is starting to take kills. They're getting another one. They just took 2 of them down. Catapults are still at the bottom of the map, aiming at the core. Pantheas they need structures. Just killing a couple of heroes then pushing into the middle of the map is not going to cut it. They need to take forts down. There's no other way. But someone has to deal with these catapults. There's just no denying it. Leo's moving in for that. And there's Hanzo. But at the end of the day, the only thing that can potentially bring Pantheas back into the game is them taking structures. They need counter pressure from catapults, or they are going to get dumpstered on. And they're trying to do exactly that up at the top. Stagger Death against Greymane! Oh, no! Team Cat with a big oof play. And there's another one. They're staggering deaths. They can't do that. Now, there is a chance that Team Cat at some point just says, well, let's YOLO, and they move Falstad and Dehaka on the other side of the map to attack the core. So that is always a possible play. But now Pantheas has a double boss that they can go for. And we are talking about 16 minutes, so these bad boys have scaled quite a bit. The attempt to go for the one at the bottom. I don't think they have the DPS for it, though. Well, maybe they do, because Diablo's not moving in quickly enough. Without Greymane, they're making their play right now. Leo rotates back so he can catch that. Down here, they're zoning it out. And once the boss is taken, this might be the end of the game. Look at Gonda. Gonda! He blinks in and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He hellgates in. Can they at least take Hero down? No, they can't kill him either. And he's flying out. Bye-bye, birdie. Fly like an eagle. This might be the end of the game. Team Pantheon was slowly bringing it back, but they needed to guard the bottom boss. What a fantastic call, though, by Team Cat. That one was excellent. And there's the kill on Hanzo, and that should be the end of it. Without Hanzo, I don't think they can defend the boss here in time. It will do too much damage. Greymane is on his way back too. It's a 5 versus 3. Was a great attempt by Team Pantheon. I really like it. But now they're all getting murdered, and this is going to be the end of the game. Now, good effort trying to bring it back, but the strategy of Team Cat was just too strong in game number 2. Very, very well done by the red team. I really like how they brought this back, especially after they, of course, got murdered on map number 1. Boss at the top doesn't even take the keep down. They finally took at least the fort, but this is obviously going to be the end of the second game in this best of 5 series. Nicely done. Team Pantheons loses to Team Cat on Cursed Hollow, and the series is tied as we move on to game number 3. Game number 3, Towers of Doom. We have a nice series on our hands. Game number 1, a lot of team fighting. Team Pantheons, the stronger team. They build up momentum. They won Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, and game number 2, very, very different map. Big map, Cursed Hollow. We have a double global play for Team Cat, and they execute it nearly perfectly. A little bit struggling at the end of it, where they had some problems with feeding a few kills in, but then they made a great decision around the boss plays and barely were able to lock it in. Now, that could have backfired, so there was a chance for Pantheons to make a comeback, but still, the globals working out in the way that they played them, that was just awesome to see. Very reminiscent of what we saw in the old days here. Now, Tigers and Vala get banned, and I think we're going to see way more of that happen in the other games too. Now, this is the first semi-final, and all of the matches here are best of 5s for now. But it's very, very interesting to just see how both of the teams are, at least for now, excelling at completely different strategies and execution of that. Dehaka gets banned. The Semit's an early pick, a first pick for the blue team, and here in Towers of Doom, Dehaka is, of course, insanely good. I mean, he might be just the best top laner on towers right now in the current meta, thanks to the global abilities and the power to double soak if need be. Wookie with Malfurion as an early pick, once again highlighting the priority that Malfurion enjoys in the Korean meta. And Stukov, of course, is a close second, so there's no surprise as he gets picked quickly. And the first rotation for the red team. But yeah, good stuff. Now, what are they going to get with that? Is it going to be a Nuburak? Is it going to be Murden? Like any kind of priest done? Yrel! So we're going on the side lane first. The Space Goat is in. There is some ugly ass skills for Yrel, by the way. The one thing that always surprised me, there's a few skills that when you have them on the selection screen, you know, you see the preview and everything. You look at it and you're like, oh my god, that looks awesome. Then you're going into the game, and the in-game model is just trash. And there's some where I look at the screen, at the preview, and all of the details that they put in, and it just absolutely looks amazing. It looks like really, really bad. And I'm like, ugh. And then in-game, it looks incredibly good. So that setup happens to me with Yrel a lot, where I feel like the in-game model is much better than the actual preview of when you're getting the skin, because some detail is missing, and some of the detail just isn't really my cup of tea. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if anybody else feels like that too. But with Stitches, for example, with the plushy thingy, plush Stitches, whatever they have there, I feel like if you look at it in the game, in the client, it kind of looks okay. But I hate the in-game model. I just like, ugh, get me a proper Stitches skin, please. And there's a lot of these examples. Now we got the bird with the Dehaka band that left us with one global, and false that is now taken by Team Pantheons. the Garrosh and Malfurion composition here. Yeah, and by the way, if you guys skipped the early video a bit, quick reminder, these are mixed teams, so there was a draft, teams were drafted, players were drafted into the teams from a player pool, therefore they are not pre-made teams. One of the main reasons was that they just wanted to mix things up a little bit. We had a lot of those captains draft teams in Europe, obviously, already a year, 2 years ago even. And it mixes things up. It's always nice when you have the full pre-mates, because that's of course where you see the highest level of play, but having the top players mix and match in teams through a captain's draft mode is every now and then nice to just break the mold a little bit, so that's kind of cool. Now, for the time being, we get our Jojo in, and we got Lunara again. They like her. Lunara is making a big comeback. And yeah, I've been talking about Bambi a lot. And I always have to smile when I read YouTube comments. I mean, the YouTube videos are always a little bit delayed compared to the live streaming. But when I at some point then talk about Bambi being male and me thinking for the longest time that Bambi was a girl, and then people on YouTube are like, what? Are you serious? I had to Google this and he's right. Stuff like that is always funny, because I'm not alone, at least. I always tell you guys these dumb stories, and then I realize, well, maybe I'm not alone on this one. Now we got Hanzo, and we get Zeratul. So, a Relic and Berber. That's actually a really dangerous, or really aggressive composition too, especially considering that Zeratul was banned early by Team Cat on Cursed Hollow. So they know that they are looking for that Zeratul pick, and here comes Genji. So we go full Assassin's mode on both sides. And well, with that, we have Towers of Doom as our third map. So guys, let's jump straight into the third game of the Best of 5 series and see which team pulls ahead here at the FiSH Cup semifinal. Gondon Garrosh in game number 3 for Team Pantheos. We have Berber on Zeratul, moving in with a Shadow Hunter. Relic on Hanzo, Wookiee on Malfurion, and Sekiro on Falstad. Now on the right side of the map, Team Cat currently playing with Pandagom on Lunara. We have Hero on Genji, Arpion this time on Jojo with a level 1 going for the Zealous Glare, Red Pepper on Stukov, and Vasto on Urel. I just realized that if you write that a little bit different, you make it Vasta and then it moves into Pasta. So, Goat Pasta? Nah. Yeah, my brain is sometimes a bit of a strange place. I agree. But anyways, we got stacking with the Gathering Storm for Falstad. Arpion sitting tight over here too, okay. Let's see what we're gonna get from our boy Zeratul topside, because they kind of banned him earlier, so it was definitely a preference pick for them that got denied on Cursed Hollow. That's why I want to see what Zeratul can do on this one. We had some really weird, I mean, I don't want to call it weird, some very interesting variations with Zeratul plays when we casted the tournament between the Chinese and Korean teams. It was kind of funny, because a lot of the Zeratul plays there had a very different focus, where he wasn't the one diving into the opponent's backline to go for kills. I mean, I guess we saw some of that too towards the end, but his job was more so to be the very mobile and agile laner that controlled the XP on 2 lanes. And that worked incredibly well. Well, way better than I expected it to. I like this invade on the other hand. With Zeratul still being stuck topside, we have Team Cat being aggressive. I like what they're doing. Game number 1 didn't go their way at all. For a long time it looked like they wouldn't even get a single kill. Game number 2 was a very different style, but now they're showing a lot of aggression here. So it's pretty much like the team came together after the first map and said, guys, listen, we gotta be more aggressive. We gotta bring the fight to them, stop playing their game. Let's just do what we do. And for now it works okay, but it also leads, of course, to situations like this where Bambi is in trouble. But they still turn it and they get a kill on Malfurion. So good for Team Cat. Yeah, nicely done. That leads us now to the first kill, to an early level 4 for the red team. And pumpkins that get connected. So they break down the bottom gate more or less immediately. Nice. Yeah, Hero right now. There's the zip. And off we go. Jumps out. Genji is gonna have a huge role to play, especially against Falstad. Genji and Falstad have that weird relationship where whenever Falstad appears, Genji all of a sudden gets hungry and wants to go to KFC. So he wants the chicken and wants to take it down. if he can do that and put the pressure on the Falstad and Hanzo in the back, then that would be amazing for them. But of course, they also got to be cautious, since eventually Zeratul will move into these team fights as well. For now, Team Cat is playing quite nicely around the rotational play that they are executing, always trying to set themselves up with a move like this, and that is extremely helpful. Genji might be in trouble here though, but he is able to get out. It's actually kind of nice. So macro level, I would say at this point we can more or less agree that Team Cat is just having the upper hand, at least when it comes to rotations. But that's now 2 of the altars taken, so they give 1 up early on because they are going for the kills and try to establish an early XP lead that they can snowball then. But I like the way that they're moving on lanes. The decision making on their part, going for camps, rotating, just making a call when they see a hero is still stuck on lane for a few more seconds and exploiting that small window of opportunity, they're really fun. If in the late game battles they can still maintain the upper hand, that's a different question though, because in game number 1 the team fight coordination was a bit better for Team Pantheos. But at least for now, I don't think there's any doubt that the momentum in the game is in the hands of Team Cat. And I mean, they're invading it again. Like, they're timing this perfectly. There's a wedge driven between the parts of the blue team. We have 2 stuck at the bottom and 2 stuck up at the top. So it's incredibly difficult for the members of the blue team to just join up. And that's, of course, by design. So now we have another play for the tower at the bottom. And they are moving in for their own pumpkin camp. I really like the way that they're running this. But at the same time, this is Towers of Doom. You can always come back, and it's not like this experience lead is anything crazy yet. Team fights might be a different story, and that's what I'm waiting for right now. The first really engage over a single altar maybe, where we have a 5-man battle between the 2 teams, and Zeratul can play a role. Because so far, Zeratul hasn't really done anything. I mean, look at his hero damage. Zeratul is at 500 hero damage. That is nothing. Yrel has less because both of them are just doing the same thing. They're going for the waves, and that is it. I mean, Yrel at this point, the 50 hero damage, she stumbled at some point and bumped into Zeratul and then immediately apologized for it. Scusi. That's how Yrel did that. And yes, she is now Italian. But, yep, once we have the team fights with the 5 versus 5, especially after level 10, things might look very, very different. So the bird down at the bottom of the map. They try to go for the channel here. First interrupt is in. Lulnara against the birdie, but she's already a bit low. Zeratul is now moving in too and is immediately starting to attack the backline here. The idea of the red team would also delay things until they have heroic abilities. But, yep. They are still playing out their little 1v1 there. They moved from the top lane towards the top altar, but that's the only thing that really changed. And the attacks are still going strong. Now, Red Pepper with the channel. Lunara with the poke. They're creating some space, and they get both. They get both. Level 10 was so close that the blue team said, guys, we can't risk dying here. So they moved back. And it's another example of how a half-level lead at the right moment in time can give you a big, big bonus. We have 28 versus 32 on the altar now. And obviously, now that they have level 10, they would love to have a fight, but they don't get that. But that gave them still 2 altar channels. That's great. That's a great first step. We got the dragon blade. We got the falling sword. Now the Might of the Narazim for Zeratul is ready. And this is really the one that I want to see. As already mentioned several times. So make it happen. Daddy wants a team fight. He wants a big one. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of hits are coming in. Still, Zeratul sitting between the lanes. And it is pumpkin time. How many pumpkins have they stolen now? I mean, this is getting a bit crazy. Look at the mercenary difference in experience. 0 to 510. It's only the bottom 2 pumpkin camps that have been taken so far in the game. But Team Pantheos hasn't taken a single one. Whereas this is now going to be number 6, I believe, for Team Cat. That is pretty respectable. So, yeah, that's actually quite strong. Stealing every single one away from the opponent, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, there's another flip attempt. Alright. Top side, Yrel and Genji are both moving back down. And here we go. That's altar number, whatever, 3 or so. But the more important part is it's a single ult on the map. That's the really important part, because now it means it's teamfight time. Teamfight time, no talent advantage. Zeratul is in. The ults are ready. And there they go for Bambi. And she jumps out. Bambi is on the way back. Totally fine. Another Disney moment over here. Nobody's dying. Everybody's happy. There's no troubles, no problems. Everybody is Gucci at the end of the day. Maybe the exception of Gonda. Okay, there's the kill. The red team again. They've stepped it up so massively compared to game number 1. It's insane to me. Dragon Blade, the kill steal from Genji as he goes for Zeratul and gets the last hit in Dota 2. That would have been report immediately. Just sat there, watched Bambi do the work, and then he moved in and last hit the shit out of him. Got the extra gold, got the extra experience. That's how you just feed somebody right there. Nicely done. The channel is also now coming in as we have 5 bell towers against 3. Team Cat, I mean, they woke them up. Team Pensius in game number 1, I tell you, they woke the beast. They absolutely woke the beast. Game number 1, it's nearly a perfect game for the blue team. And then starting with game number 2, they're just sitting there and saying like, nope, not on our watch. We're absolutely okay making this a little bit more interesting, boys, but this is our win. So at this point, they are dictating the pace and the flow of the game from start to finish. 5 kills to 0. That is a bit bonkers. Our side laners have taken back to their job. But, yep. There we go. They take it again. Has the Pentheus taken a single pumpkin camp this game? I don't think so. I've never seen someone dominate the pumpkins this hard. Like, if you get camp after camp after camp, that matters. It's more pressure, and the experience that tickles in is also important. But the bot lane control is just crazy at this point. And you can tell that Team Pentheus is starting to struggle here. They're bringing Zeratul down, Space Goat is moving in. I mean, even Genji was trying to see if they can maybe join up to get the kill on Zeratul. Now at least we have some poke for the blue team, so they can slowly take this back, and eventually it's of course going to be claimed. But if now Team Cat gets another channel at the bottom, that's another 5 points. They're still close-ish, but the lead in experience is starting to increase and increase and increase. I mean, we're talking about more than 1.5 levels. And that matters. Again, this is a comeback map. But that's still, like, the assumption that you can come back here still hinges on the assumption that eventually you're at least drawing even in experience and win team fights. And right now we are far removed from that possibility. As Hero goes for the channel at the bottom, locks another 5 shots in that easily connect here. And now they have, with 5 kills to 0 and level 16 talents, another opportunity to push this out even further. Yeah. Absolutely nuts. Now Zeratul is sitting in the middle. Got attacked pretty quickly here. And down here... The problem is they can't really go too deep against Garrosh because he's just going to throw them into the death zone and then they're going to die. So all of these pumpkins are pinning Team Pentheus down, but they are unlikely to connect as long as the blue team is willing to defend with 4. But that leaves Zeratul also as the only rotational hero between the lanes, and this is happening as a result. We have with Hero traversing the debris here very easily and helping out at the bottom or moving into the middle. He is assisting Yrel, and they can take this wall down for free. So, I don't want to say it's a checkmate position because we're not there yet, but it's definitely giving them a mad lead. That was a nice move against Jojo though, but even that didn't work out. Good heals coming in from Stukov, the Iron Skin was available too. And despite all their efforts and the ults that have been used here, Team Pentheus can't make it work. They got the arrow in, got the stun, Garrosh followed it up, throws them into the death zone, but they just can't get that kill. Now we have a triple altar coming up, and this could nearly end the game. I mean, again, nearly. I mean, it could end the game, I suppose, if you get all 3 and you kill a couple of heroes that allows you to go for boss. Unlikely to happen now that level 16 is ready, but I guess... theoretically, it could. Master Warblade. Yeah, top right. That's going to be an easy channel. They should get 2 out of these. They tried to retake before, but they won't be able to. Guys, that's 10 points down unless Foresight interrupts. Pumpkins are moving in. Lunara doing her thing. First 5 shots are fired against the 3. And now they're all going for the next turn in. While we have still a 3 versus 3 raging on. Battling it out on the control on this one. Yeah, Falstad needs to be a bit careful too. Tries to go for the interrupt again. Genji is tapping the fountain at the bottom right. You can also follow this on the minimap as they're still playing it out over here. Yeah, the altar gets attacked again. And this is a 2v2. We have pretty much 2 fights happening at the same time. Jojo still moving out. Dodging out on all of this. Over here, the channel happens again. Falstad is low. Won't be able to do a whole lot. And that's a completed channel for Genji. Genji is going to get the channel completion, and that's another 5 down. Bam, we're on single digits. 8 against 29, and now they give up the bell tower. Brilliantly done. Long defense, 3 versus 3 battle over the bell tower. As Team Cat just controls it perfectly. Ooh, that is a YOLO arrow. That one is... Woo, that one was an opportunity arrow. You pretty much know that you're going to have it back if it fails for the next one, but you're just attempting to set something up. Or he's just fat fingering his keys at this point. Yeah, they go for boss. And look where the blue team is, all the way down at the bottom of the map. Are they going to make it in time? Spoiler alert, nope! Yeah, nicely done. Very well done. Incredible play by Johanna. And yes, there's going to be a couple of haters that email come. Of course she needs to do that. I mean, duh. But how many times have we seen something like this fail? Jojo knew exactly what the danger was. Falstad with the gust. And it was well executed by Pentheus. Falstad gust. Zeratul jumps in. But thanks to the Iron Skin and the deny on the gust, they take it. And now we're down to 4 points for Team Pentheus. So, good move by Falstad and by Zeratul. I really, really like the way they were trying to execute that. And against a lot of teams that would have worked. In this case, though, we had Jojo step up. She knew exactly what the threat level was here. And she played perfectly around it. So, very well done. And of course now, half a level to level 20. 5 kills to 0. Which means that this could be a nearly perfect game. Perfect game in regards to kills, not quite a perfect game in regards to damage on the bell towers. Yeah, they need to win this fight. They need to win this fight because now we have the bot lane also getting attacked again. Don't want to lose out on that. 2 altars up, the kill! Jojo is down and the blue team is still rocking it with 5. Okay, they might live to fight another day. They might oh, maybe not. No, not like this. Hanzo. Oh, that's dangerous now. Do they let this one slide? I don't think so. They have level 20 now. Level 20 and a 4v5 with Jojo coming back much faster than Hanzo. This looked bad until they got the Lunara kill. Yeah, this looked bad for a moment. Now this is a different story. And they're likely to give it up. Yeah, why would they fight here? Oh! Rocket Hero! Yeah, Sukov is the one that's called Red Pepper, but the spicy plays come from Hero. Buying themselves a bit more time. Level 20 soon. But they are still alive for now. Yeah, gotta give some credit where credit is due. That kill against Lunara was insanely important. If they don't get the Lunara kill, the game's over. Because Jojo would have been back way faster than Hanzo. And they would have been able to zone. 4v5? For sure. So, 60,000 damage for our boy Hanzo. 20,000 damage for Genji. I guess we know which Shimada brother is winning this one. But here comes the push. Blue team still eager to bring this back. Slowly, but steadily. Hanzo died twice. Yeah, Hanzo died twice. Okay, and... I don't know why, but that reminded me of chili. Because a good chili burns twice as well. I don't know. Either way, Hanzo now with a couple more scat arrows here. Poking out the damage numbers. But it's still, they're so far behind. 17-point difference. Yeah, also we got the Shadow Stride now in. But here we go. Single altar. Now, Falstad can again gust. And he's going to be able to buy them quite a bit of time with the wind tunnel. So if they get a good angle and can isolate everyone, then they might just buy themselves enough time. But this is another opportunity for Team Cat to end the game and take the lead in the best of 5. So, yeah, there's that. Alright. They're poking it out again. This is the team fight potential. And Genji has taken the bottom bell tower. Not that they need it, but it removes also a retreat option for the blue team and will force them to retake all of those, even if the altar is lost. So they would lose a bit more time there. It's all about the team fight regardless. And here comes Jojo looking for the cooldown reduction. Oh, the arrow missed! The arrow missed and Lunara survived because of it. They're trying again for the channel to sneak it, and they make it work. The shots are fired, only 3, 4 to 18, but they cannot survive. Garrosh dies, and now they're all being chased. It's the only play that they had, but they are losing nearly everybody. They might lose everybody. The birdie! Oh! 2 are alive, everybody else is dead. Pumpkins, 38 seconds on this one. 8 cams on this one. 8 points on this cam, 8 seconds. And the boss is up. Oh no! The boss is up in 2. Yeah, ladies, this is the end of the 3rd game. It's the only play that Team Pantheos had. If the arrow connects with Lunara, it is a kill, but not like this. So, yep, that is a game. And the lead in this series for Team Cat. 5-man team white to finish the show as the red team takes the 2-1 lead in the best of 5 series here in the semifinal. GG. Team Pantheus, they woke the beast. The beast is a cat, as it turns out. So, red team with a ban on Zeratul this time. They banned him on Curse. He was played against them on the last map on Towers of Doom. And Zeratul might not have won the game for Team Pantheus, but he was annoying to deal with. So this time they ban him out. And we have match point on our hands. Team Cat could take Pantheus now down with a 3-1 if they lock in a victory on Sky Temple. Globals potentially reigning supreme here. Sky Temple always a map where you can do a lot with globals. One of the main reasons why the Haka is banned out right away. That leaves us with Falstad. Unless, of course, you want to go for some shenanigans around Samuro, Abatha, Vikings. But while that is possible, and you go for cheese strategies, it's a little bit less likely. There's Tychus. I think that's the first time that we have Tychus, yeah. He was banned in every single game. But because of the first pick, Vala was banned by Team Pantheus, and I guess that now they might go for Falstad, so they have at least a global in the game. But no, they go for Junkrat, yeah, I mean, it's always the same case, right? You have so many heroes that just can't be banned, and that are having huge impacts on these games. So now an early Stukov, Malfurion again, the top priority for the Korean teams. We talked about the unofficial tier list for Korea, and when we talk about support, it's Malfurion and Stukov right behind that. Arpian again with Johanna. A lot of temple control for him potentially here. Also point control, again, keep in mind that they did a really good job locking in the boss on Towers of Doom by Arpian just keeping his trade up and using that to counteract the Mighty Gust from Falstad. You can make similar plays, of course, when you're looking at the boss spot here. But they ban Falstad though, so they don't take it for themselves. They ban him instead and just say, oh, well, not really interested in playing the global game again. We want team fights. That's pretty much what they're saying. And what do you ban out now? Gonda still? I mean, even a Maiev might not be a bad ban. Garrosh, Maiev, something along those lines. Heroes that gave them a lot of trouble in some of the earlier games, especially when you think about game number 1. Fair point with Junker and Malfurion. Stitches is always a bit of... Stitches is one of these weird ones, right? Always a bit of an X-Factor pick where sometimes you just sit in a spot and all of a sudden those hooks can just ruin your day no matter how well coordinated you are. If the Stitches player is having a good day and he lands these hooks, then whew, things can escalate very, very quickly. Leo is in. Oh, Schallswiffer! No janitor today though. No janitor today. And May! Ooh! Guys, we have the solution. They looked at it, they said like, how can we beat these guys? How? Couldn't do it with Tracer. I guess we have to go double Overwatch. Yep, that's what they're doing. The more Overwatch, the more better. As we have learned in the past. And Li Ming! I like it. I like to watch a good Li Ming. I hate playing against a good Li Ming, but it's awesome to watch one. And there's the insta pick on Tracer. I told you, the more Overwatch, the more better. There we go. We got Tracer, Mei, and Junkrat. So they're going full into the Overwatch strategy as we are heading into game number 4, potentially the last map of this particular series. So guys, let's see. Can Team Cat move on to the grand final? We're gonna find out right now. Relic on Tracer, Gonda on Mei, and Sekiro on Junkrat. Team Pantheos, they're going for the triple Overwatch here. They're saying, guys, we only have one chance. We don't want to do it, but we have to. Let's dip deep into the pool that is Overwatch, one of the few games that Blizzard cares about, and see what we can do here. They were thinking about taking a couple of heroes that are more native to the Heroes of the Storm universe, but then they remembered that that Blizzard doesn't give a shit about heroes, so they just went into the Overwatch strategy, which is just a bit more beefy and powerful. Let's see if they have success with that. Bear on Leo, and we got Wukil Malfurion to round out the lineup. Whereas on the right side of the map, Team Cat with Hero on Li Ming, Red Pepper on Stukov, Vasto on Sonya, Arpion on Jojo once again, and Tychus is of course also being played here. Bit of a battle over, not even a battle. Panagom on Tychus, a bit of a tiny skirmish here. But they're still trying to catch Li Ming, which didn't really work out. But off we go. We have, for now, a bit of StarCraft represented here, of course, as well. Leo is not going full Leorki just yet. Seems like the top lane is going to be the dedicated 1v1 lane for now. Down at the bottom of the map, it is Tracer that is in trouble. And oh boy, that was close. 50 HP for her, as she gets saved by Malfurion. That could have been the first blood of the game. The heat transfer on level 1. And we have also the force armor for Li Ming. Now, there is quite a bit on the line here. Team Pantheos really needs to bring this one back if they want to have a chance to stay in the tournament. Stakes are always raised when you're playing a single elimination system, and that's exactly what we are witnessing right now. So we'll see what they can do with all of this. Vasto and his boys are going straight for the camp. We see the same happening on the left side, so it's just an easy rotation from the Siege Giant camp over to the Bruiser camp as both lanes are getting pressured. Seems like Li Ming is trying to push this out a bit faster, but she's gonna get some company very, very soon. Leo riding in on the Direwolf. Really nice combo, by the way. I really like it. And now, of course, what has happened in every single Asian server tournament in a long time, Tychus, when picked, goes straight into the Master's Assassin on a level 4 for the passive. Europe has followed, they copied that. By now, it's just the standard build to go for, whereas Europe still goes into the other level 4 talents every now and then, depending on composition on map. But with that, we get our dominance for our girl here, Li Ming, trying to go and pop some pimples, jumping in and play whack-a-mole once level 7 Calamity is ready for her. Again, the skeleton swing into the ghastly reach, and they are pressuring topside. I am so impressed by the red team considering how the first map went. It really feels like they were asleep. I mean, if not for the time difference, I would have said, okay, some of these guys haven't woken up yet. Because for me, it was 10 o'clock in the morning when we started with all of this on the Saturday. For them, it was 5 PM. So it's kind of interesting that from game number 1 to game number 2 and 3, we had such a massive power spike for Team Cat. These guys, they were slow starters. They definitely had a bit of a wacky first game where things just didn't flow together, and then the snowball kicked in. But right now, they are again the ones to make the big plays. They take control over up at the top. They've already done some additional damage. We have Leo moving in with rotation after rotation right now, for the blue team at least. But Sonya is responding as best she can. And also dodging out on the skills here. Yeah. This is, by the way, where Junkrat gets really annoying. This alone is already just such an annoying play to make. If you're trying to get back to safety, you're gonna find yourself in the middle of a battle and get ganked up on. And yeah. Junkrat he is such a nuisance. But the damage is now slowly being done. The temples are about to end, and we have in the mid lane a lot of pressure pushed in. The last 5 shots are being fired right now as we speak. It's still incredibly even in structures. No big advantage or anything. Bear and Vasto both sitting at the bottom and up at the top. Relic is now defending as the fort is taking even more damage because of the minions. But in the mid lane, similar picture as the same as happened here too. 8 to 8 and still no kills. I'm really impressed a bit of how this works out, because these are drafted teams. This is not teams of people that have been playing around, playing together for like months or years. So with that in mind, the discipline that we have in a lot of those cases is pretty awesome. It's not like we're getting just massive brawls here, which has happened in a lot of other games. But instead what we're seeing is very disciplined games with a lot of shot calling, as it seems. And yeah, really nice moves on the macro level, despite the fact that this time the globals have been banned out. And here comes the big fight for the bot map. You want to take... Oh, that could be the first kill! Yes! Stukov is dead. Great lockdown for Malfurion, and that's a follow-up kill on Arbion. Overwatch, too strong. It's just a bit too strong, everybody. Yep, Overwatch is doing too much work here. And now they're losing control over the bot lane. And oh boy, with level 10 coming up, they went in right away for the boss play. Yeah, good call. Very good call. You get the 2 kills, you're close to level 10. Your opponent, even if they respawn quickly, can't do anything since they don't have Storm Talons yet. Ooh, we could go to a 5th map. That's a good start. If they can keep up the momentum and maybe finally break that spell of Team Cat, we could even go the full distance here today. Yeah, there's the wall, nice. But there's level 10 on the other side too. Do we get the leap? Oh, the blow against Tracer! Tracer down, Riptire is in. That one was on point. Oh, Sonya in the back. Oh, jumping in big time, but Wookie is alive and makes it out of the fight. But they can defend against the boss. The temple is up for grabs. Leo has to be stopped at the top. And in the middle, they're going to lose this one. But at least they get the bottom temple now, so they get the shots here. And they can help out with the damage, which they do right now. So that's actually not too bad. That was a real good fight for them. Just as Pentheus gets a few hopes and dreams up, they're getting denied hard. This one is still there. This is the moment where you wish that you had Abathur on your team, just so they can heal all of this up. But of course, that's not the case. So instead, the shots are fired, the fort goes down. Next one, the one in the middle, is getting attacked. They're starting to chase here a bit in an attempt to steal the camp away. I like that. That's actually a really, really nasty play. The decisions are being made by Pentheus now are kind of funny. But they are abandoning the idea. It was a nice thought, but they are moving away. Vastos with a quick leap out, burning the cooldown, and now Johanna's making her way towards the top 2. They haven't given up on it yet, but you can tell that the red team is just always prepared for these moves. So yeah, puts himself in. Mine gets detonated, but it doesn't change the fact that the top fort will likely survive because they fought for this and just didn't just give it up. Now, level 13 and a half. Level 12 and a half leading into level 13, as Team Cat is still a little bit behind in experience. Leo side laning as he does right now was one of the main reasons for that. And they're jumping out again. They have a fair amount of mobility. You have teleports on Li Ming, you have the ult on Jojo and the ult on Sonya. And instead of using that as a gauge, they're just saying, well guys, if you are trying to force these fights this heavily, we're just going to use those abilities to jump out and then see where that leads us. And it seems like, for now at least, that's another fort gone. 2 forts destroyed, none taken yet. This one is going to be the first one to fall very likely. If Junkrat, for example, at any point makes it into that position, it's going to work out. But there's another leap, and Sonya survives. Seems like this theme of the game. They're bringing this back. The blue team wants to fight. The red team just doesn't find those openings where they say, okay, this is a good battle for us too. And instead just leaps out of one battle after another. And it's kind of funny. But the aggression is definitely there. I mean, the blue team is now moving in once again. We've already seen that before. But they're pulling the same thing off. Stealing some of the camps away. So, yeah. It's kind of funny if you think about it. The way that they're playing this is a little bit... I mean, I don't want to say desperate, because that wouldn't really be fair. It's not really a desperate attempt by them to YOLO and think like, alright, let's just risk something insane. But the funny part to me is just simply that they are now the ones that are initiating over and over again. It reminds me a bit of what happened on Towers of Doom, when the red team was getting incredibly aggressive around those pumpkin camps and just said, okay, we're going to go for that. But, yep, they are the ones taking a few of the shots. Team fight is happening once again as they're making their play into it. Riptire is already out and has been used here. And how much more can they get at this point? They're trying to get those kills, but they have poked only everybody down a little bit and are just not able to seal the deal here. And that starts to become a problem, especially now that Odin gets popped. 14 versus 14. They're still looking for a couple of connects with Li Ming's combo in particular, so that they can chunk them down. The control has not changed then again. We still have full control for them at the bottom spot. They're taking the shots. The fort in the middle is suffering as a result and is by now down to a couple of hit points and is going to fall. So it's 2 forts down against 1. Team Pentheus is once again falling slightly behind. Leap could be used as an escape tool if needed. And yeah, Sonya, is she going to jump out? Yes, once again they are retreating from that spot. Gonda maybe moved a bit too far forward. Pops the Trey to stay alive. Tracer looking for an opportunity to jump into the back line to finish the job, but it just doesn't work for them. So a few shots are still left down here. And they are fighting for it. I expected them to rotate towards the top now and try to take a few shots there. And it seems like that might just be what they're doing. But all of the forts are gone for the blue team. So they are starting to catch up a little bit. But they will also lose a few of the shots up at the top too. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. 2 kills to 1. 15 to 15. They double check the boss as they should. And I kind of like this, the way that this is playing out right now. It's a cool first match that we have here in those semis. So yeah, this is actually pretty impressive. And they're not making a play towards the top. And if you're wondering why, it's very likely because of the experience. They won 16 first. They don't want to go in a fight where they all of a sudden are the ones being behind in talent. So now that they have their 16, they can make the move. Sonya is playing this already very, very slow. Is might have to split off to help the team out. It's a 5 versus 4 for now. There's the Riptire. Tychus! He's dead. He has to die here. And he does. Tychus is down. The top keep is under pressure, by the way. They're chasing Jojo in an attempt to drop her and might be successful here. No entomb for Leo. The root is good, but they cannot get a second kill. But the temper shots were all fired, and the keep at the top is, as a result, down to 50% HP. So this fort is likely going to get dropped now, too. It's very even in structures, but you can't deny that Team Cat still has a better position, thanks to them getting the top keep this low. I love how aggressive Team Pentheus is around those camp invades, though. But this one might not work out for them. Tychus is back in 2 seconds. There's a little bit of damage already, and the boss is at 30% HP. This is a really tough one. 16 versus 16. Jojo, she uses the Iron Skin early. Uses the Iron Skin here. They go on the point and they take Mate down. There's the leap. Team Cat with the plays. They risk it and they seem to be able to claim it. Arpion is really low, but it's a kill against Leo that follows the first. They take the boss and they won't Junkrat. They want him and they get him. 3 down. Big plays being made. They take the Siege Giants too. They want the bottom keep. And I do not think that Team Pentheus can stop them here. The bottom keep should fall with Siege Giants plus boss. What can they do? Little to nothing. That is... oh, that backfired so badly. I like that Team Pentheus is trying to be aggressive. I like that they're risking things. They are in a situation where it makes perfect sense for them to do it. But here it backfired. Team Cat They bought themselves some time. They waited for Tychus to come back. They played it incredibly well. And also, of course, double-checked immediately what was going on around the boss, realizing what's happening here. But Sonya isn't at the bottom fight. This is still a 4 versus 4 now. There's damage dished out everywhere. The keep is, of course, going to fall. The only question that remains is, can Team Pantheas at least get a couple of kills for it? And so far, I would say maybe... But there's a big wave at the top now coming in. The second keep is under pressure. 1 kill, 2 kills. I call worth. They're going to get 2 keeps out of this. I call worth right here. If they can save the rest of the team, this is totally fine. Even if they only lose 1 more, this is okay. There's the leap. Jojo, she buys them even more time and space. And the keep should now fall. Catapult is going to take it down. The keep destroyed. That's the second one. 1 temple is up and they can take it. But with the top fort still here, this is going to soak some of the shots. There is no way that Team Pantheas is going to get to the same point with those 2 kills. This is not happening. But if they can stagger some, that would be different. Yeah, they got to move out here. And there's the Entomb. They made this a little bit too easy. Pressure against. Oh, Tracer, but they can't get the kill. And it's a staggered death. And Arpion finds himself in trouble and is likely going to die here. Does he have the Iron Skin? And the answer is no. No counter kill. Yeah, there it is. Maze down. But they're trolling a little bit. This is starting to get really brawly here. Level 20 is so close, but of course with at least May down, that was important. The camp still stolen by the blue team. I mean, things are really heating up at this point. There's catapult pressure galore. If they can help that that fort to survive, that would be the most important thing, because then they have continuous catapults on every single wave without any counter pressure, and they're able to do that. Level 20 is also in. They need to keep the rest of the team alive, though. That's the more important part. So, yeah, there's that. Wookie moving in. They get the shots. They're going to take this down now. Level 20 versus level 20. Oh, boy. Ooh. Yeah, they're trying to claim a foothold in the game now. And they're going to get some damage on the keep, very likely. But having lost to themselves, these catapults, they are going to present a big problem. And of course, if you're evenly trading now for temples, then the red team is going to win eventually. And they might now even get a few of the points down here, because May was dead until now. So she's just now coming back. But those shots are directly attacking the middle. And the more you can take down here, the better in the long run. If you get another temple later on, it means the end of the third and final keep. Yeah. It is a fun one. They are locked into another fight though. And by now, we have the Entomb setup, of course, with Leo. Good silence from Red Pepper. Stukov needs to be cautious in the back and ensure that he can always use that whenever Leo in particular is making a play to try and set the fight up for the team. So they're pushing this back as they don't want to deal with the big red button. Good move. One camp at the top. Catapults are already starting to gather up here. And we have 50 seconds for the boss. That's what started all of this. The boss battle earlier. But yeah. 42,000 damage for Li Ming. The only player that hasn't died yet besides Malfurion. Malfurion and Li Ming, the only 2 that haven't fallen yet. 49,000 damage through Junkrat. And now the double altar. Yeah, even if you can... I mean, blue team needs pretty much both, right? I mean, maybe not both, but they need to steal a few of those away. And they're going to try and set the bot lane up. Yeah, if they can take the camp... I don't know if they can. The blue team knows it too. I mean, of course they do. The blue team knows that if this Siege Giant camp is taken, they have a huge problem at the bot lane. Catapults plus Siege Giant, it's too much. So they go in and they take it, and they had to. And they make the YOLO play for the boss. They are the ones under pressure. They are behind. They are behind, so they're risking it. They're saying, okay, guys, let's just go. Let's just go. If we win, we can bring it back. If we lose, we are behind anyways, and they're going to win the game in the long run. So let's make a boss play. Let's see what we can do here. And if this is one that we can win, then we are back to business, and we're going to fight game number 5. But this is a really risky play. Team Cat is in a good spot. They have good ults for this too. But there's the kill potentially. No! They all get out. They trade cooldowns. They all get out. Hero is still alive. Li Ming hasn't fallen. The big red button still with poke damage. But Odin is not gonna last forever. And the boss has leashed in the meantime. Boss is back to full HP. And very likely they're just gonna all let it slide now. Everybody went full in the last battle, but nobody has fallen this far. And Li Ming is still looking for those resets and for the combo connects. I mean, even Malfurion at this point with the Serenity. The more ults are used, the more important, of course, these cooldown reduction talents that we have, and that includes Johanna. So they're forcing them off. Now that they see a few shots taken, they know perfectly that there's no boss attempt happening any longer. Couple of shots in the middle. God, it is so close now. It's potentially the final map of this series. There's the silence. What an entomb. What an entomb. Jojo is jumping out and she still dies and Tracer survives. Jojo is dead. Tracer survives. Riptire and can they? No, they cannot go for Red Pepper. It's still such a crazy game. And the call has been made. Let's go, boss. Let's go, boss, everybody. If you protect the temples, the rest goes, boss. The second they know they're at boss, they need to go for the temples. And that's what they're trying right now. They're going at least for the top temple. But of course, the blue team is going to attempt to end the game here. That's what they're going to do. It's going to take them a little bit longer with this. Keep gets still attacked. Yeah, if you get another keep, yeah, there it is already. Ooh, okay. But yeah, they don't know what's happening with the boss. They don't know for sure. So they're playing the safe. Oh my god. They have to know. They have to know. But they didn't want to get caught there. Anyways. Alright. 8 kills to 5. 20 minutes in. This one's insane. Alright, so they're burning it down. They're not even trying to end. They're not even trying to end here. Instead, they're going for the keeps. God, this game is gonna get bonkers, isn't it? Now, double catapult at the bottom. One catapult coming in. Third one on the way. We'll see where that gets us. Can they soak everything? Yeah, nearly done. They're contesting the middle. They want a few shots. They want that keep. One keep down, by the way. The keep in the mid lane has been destroyed. Nothing else. They're taking the shots here. I don't think they can take the keep completely. But yep, they will fire a few in and get it even lower for now. That leaves us with the top. And if they claim this, the last keep is gone. And they're going to try to do that. No heroics are on cooldown right now. None. Absolutely none. Shots are fired. Is it going to be enough? Can they take that keep? They're so close. And they can't. Oh my god. It's 2 shots left. Only 2. Riptire gets soaked. The Entomb, the Buried Alive is gone. Those are 2 incredibly important ults that they just used. Guys, that's bad. That's bad for the blue team. That's really bad. Yeah, and the keep is gone. The keep is down. It's falling right now. Oh, 1 keep alive. 2 keeps alive for the red team. None for the blue team. They got a YOLO. They have to force a fight. It's the only chance they have. But they lost big cooldowns already. They lost some big cooldowns, but they put him into a corner. Leap, and Jojo's jumping in together with Sonya to save Tychus. What the hell? 23 minutes in, level 23 on the board. And Hyde pauses the game. What? Hyde is pausing the game here. I don't know if somebody dropped, but that would of course be an absolute disaster. Oh my god. The core is the only structure still standing for Team Pantheos. On the right side, the 5-man, they've done so well. They lost only the middle, but this game is crazy. Now, we have currently 2 minutes and 57 still on the boss timer, so it's going to take a lot of time for him to come back. Very likely not going to play another role here. The objective that's going to spawn next is up at the top and in the middle. So, if the objective is taken the core by the red team, the core is gone. Boss fights are not going to be a thing anymore. We have pumpkin camps, not in towers, sorry. We have siege tank camps up, 2 of them, and we have a bruiser camp as well. So with all of that happening, a team fight, there's 2 scenarios here. Either we're going to see a team fight in the sense that both teams are willing to fight it out before the objective and the boss is up. That's scenario number 1. If they're, for example, fighting over the camps, fighting over the lane control, they're going to do that. But there's also another scenario where especially the red team is just going to sit tight and wait things out. Because for them, the more time passes, the better, so to say, since these catapults are becoming stronger. And once that the objective is up, since there are 2, it means that the blue team will very likely have to spread themselves incredibly thin, considering that they need to defend the lanes against the catapults, and they need to defend also those turn-ins. So time is working in favor of the red team pretty much. An isolated kill would also be the dream. They're going for Gonda. Yeah, but they're taking the team fight. Alright. Ah, that was unfortunate. The Entomb missing again. Tracer is chasing as she did the entire game. But she's also eating a lot of dirt here. Now Arpion has 14 more seconds on the cooldown. And Tychus! Oh, the leap! No! The leap nearly killing Mei. But now it is Sonya that's in trouble. Here comes the Malfurion ulti. Nearly gets burned down by Li Ming in a second. And they're just popping all the ults at this point. What a fight! These battles are insane! The leap on Mei was just out of this world. Well, not the leap itself. The leap was good. But at the same time, it was just the reaction of Mei and immediately just like denying it with the trade as soon as it was ready here. Now, the core is still fine, but the temples are activating in 10, and now the situation that I talked about earlier is unfolding right in front of us. Yeah, if they can kill her, though, that's a different story. And indeed, no, maybe not. Ah, she jumps out again. What about shots fired? Jojo! She gets the iron skin in the last moment. Leo dies. What is this fight? Did you see Johanna? She had no hit points. None. And the second the damage gets towards her, she's able to make it out. The fight continues. Lanes are getting pushed. Bot lane, top lane. Check the minimap. Catapults everywhere. Another jump. It's insanity what's ensuing here. The temples are bowled up. Nobody's taking anything. We're 25 minutes into the game. Tracer is just busting one bubble after another. Comes in and takes those shields down all over the place. 90,000 damage for Junkrat. But now the bot lane is getting soon attacked. The top lane in a similar situation. Temple about to be taken. The ults are up again. Tigers with 8 seconds on Odin. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is the third Entomb in the fight. And he dies again. Leo is dead. This has to be the end. The blue team is fighting tooth and nail, but they're going to lose here. Catapults are already on the core, or they will be in just a second. The core is getting attacked from the top in the bot lane, and now we're also getting shots fired right here through the middle. But this could be a kill, and it is. Li Ming is dead. It just doesn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Sonya should go for the top, and that's exactly where she's going. Sonya's just trying to end the game. They're trying to end the game. They're saying, fuck the team fight. Screw it. We're going game, boys. We're going game. Double catapult. Triple catapult, top side. She's taking the shots. The core is falling. It's falling quickly. Tigers is down at the bottom, and this is it. This is game. It has to be. It just has to be. No, it's not. What the fuck? How is this not over? How is this not over? 3 are dead. 5 versus 3. And guys, the core is falling over here. You're going game 5. We're going game 5, aren't we? This is crazy. They are actually winning it. They get both of the altars pretty much, and that's how they win the game. Not well enough coordinated. Team Pentheus. They turn it, and we are going to game number 5, everybody. Oh my god. What a sick series. Infernal Shrines, everybody! Let's go! Game number 5. The end of game number 4, insane! Team Pentheus bringing it back. That was incredible. Sonya moving to the top shrine was a bit too late. I mean, again, Mei reacted right away and went top and really shut her down. But it was just crazy to see that they didn't lose. The catapults were taken down so quickly, which was super important. I mean, honestly, if at the defense on the blue team side, the catapults were immediately blown out of the water when the defense started to move in, that game would have been over in a few seconds. But thanks to the double channel in the middle from the blue team, they are able to get the core and force game number 5. Personally, I did not expect this even a little bit. It is awesome that we get the 5th game. Crazy game. Semifinal number 1 is already a blast. And yeah, the second one, of course, is also scheduled for the day. We have Zeratul and Junkrat right away banned. Tychus gets taken again. So they're prioritizing the bans here on Infernal Shrines on Vala, who has been banned in every single game for now. And on Dehaka too. But yeah, it all comes down to the 5th map, everybody. So let's go. Malfurion and Falstad. So we have at least one global. And we get Malfurion together with it. Stukov, I suppose, is now going to be picked again on the side of Team Cat. Unless on Infernal Shrines they are going to move into a different support. You have, of course, a couple of others that are also very strong here. I mean, one of the few that got buffed in one of the recent patches, not in the latest one that we had a couple of days ago, was Deckard Cain. So he saw some gameplay again. But with Stukov up, there's just no contest here. Yeah, Malfurion, Stukov, they're reigning supreme in the Korean meta. Blaze also played. This is the first time that we have Blaze, actually. I mean, he's great here, don't get me wrong. It's just surprising to me that they didn't play him on any other maps, now that I think about it. So yeah, Blaze, great for the side lane. Great also for the control over the shrine, the slows, the AoE that he brings in. So yeah, there's that. And we got Garrosh. Alright. Yeah, Garrosh is banned. We had so many frontliner plays. The amount of jumps that we had from, let's say, Johanna in the last game in those team fights was just insanity. I mean, how many times did we see either Jojo or Sonya move out of the fight with less than 100 HP as Tracer was trying to chase them down just in time to receive a heal, to receive someone blocking the opponent, or maybe even the Iron Skin from Johanna coming through. It was incredible. That game was all over the place. I still can't believe that we're in game number 5. I still can't. But again, with the final bans coming out, this time it's Leo, who obviously is incredible on Infernal Shrines. We have Stitches and Hogger. Stitches has been banned multiple times, and finally he sees some play. Hook into Malfurion Root is what we're going to get here. And yeah, Hogger for the ping pong on every single shrine in the game. Good to go, for sure. Yeah, and well, how does they round out the draft? Jojo again? Seems to really like Jojo. No, they go Nubarak, they go Sniper, and Sylvanas together with it too. Okay, nice. And Nubarak and Blaze for the stuns, Stukov for the follow-up, Tychus and Sylvanas for the damage. Sylvanas to push with Punishers even further. That is a scary lineup. That is really, really scary. If you win team fights and objectives with this one, you can snowball it hard. So, yeah. And the last one for game number 5, it is Greymane, everybody. Ladies, let's go. The 5th map. I still can't believe we're here. Our FiSH Cup with the drafted teams, the captain's draft setup, mixed teams therefore. Pantheas against Cat. Let's go, everybody. Semifinal number 1. Game number 5, we are going the full distance, everybody. Gonda on Stitches, we got Sekiro on Hogger, Wookie on Malfurion, Bear on Falstad, and Relic is playing Greymane. Okay, on the right side of the map, Team Cat, they looked like the sure winner after they built up so much momentum in game number 2, 3, and then also took the lead in game number 4. But they have to fight for that slot in the grand final with Hero on Sylvanas, Vasto on Blaze, we get Arpion on Anubarak, Panda, Gom on Tychus, and Red Pepper on Stukov. Alright, good stuff here. So, what are we going to get for now? We have on level 1, this time the Neural Stimpacts, so no invulnerable frames. We get the Patchwork creation in, and we got the Emerald Dreams once more. But yeah, the party is going strong, as they are already making plays for an early kill in the game, but Relic is able to move out with the mobility that Greymane offers him in this situation. So yeah, good for him for now. Top lane gets as usual established as the 1v1 lane, and the rotation is starting up between the middle and the bottom. Okay, kinda hyped. Game number 5, I didn't expect it to come to this point. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now Arpian is also sitting down here on the bottom. Up at the top, of course, Vasto, he's the one that should be able to just like hold that lane. Top lane, there's not going to be a lot that happens between the two of them. Unless there are ganks, the top lane should be pretty evened out. You can see that Blaze is just stalling the lane out. He's playing this super slow. And at the same time now with the rotation down to the bottom, they're trying to use an Uberak for those early engages and stuns, trying to burn down Stitches. I am a bit curious to see if we are maybe getting an adjustment on the level 4 talent for Tychus. Normally it's the Master Assassin in the Korean meta. And that of course gives you a lot of benefits with Odin too. But if they are worried about burning Stitches down as the game continues, we might see them with the bigger they are after all. Because Stitches is a big boy, he has a lot of HP. Now, personally I think Master Assassin will likely be the choice here. But bigger they are would definitely be an option for them if they would try to shift things around a bit. And they go again. Master Assassin, also a bit more control with a bed of barbs here. Stitches himself with the Tenderizer. But yeah, burning him down is not going to be all that easy. We have seen from both teams very heavy focus on... I mean, we didn't really have that many... It's a little bit weird because we didn't have that many early game kills. It's not like they're brawling early on in the game. They're more focusing on the macro and trying to get themselves an experience lead and a slight advantage through that. But yeah, we'll see. Sekiro is already here. Relic, okay. So they're currently all just moving on towards the top lane. The camp has been taken and is about getting the first shrine. Sylvanas is of course a huge threat now for the blue team. Whenever she is able to be part of... nice, I like that. The root was a bit delayed. I don't think that it would have been a problem for Blaze in the first place because the rest of the red team was already moving in. But it's nice to know that they had his back at least. But as I was about to say, once they get a Punisher, Sylvanas is going to help out a lot. So she's going to try to move into the Punisher lane whenever possible. But first they have to get the objective. And once they have Tychus, that's going to be a bit easier for them. Right now they've taken a significant lead, but that's mainly because the bird is down at the bottom of the map in an attempt to get them to level 7 a bit faster so that they have the talent advantage. Fawcett moved from the bottom into the mid lane and he's going to get the XP sooner for them. But the lead is pretty incredible. Fawcett is going to get them level 7. But that doesn't guarantee them necessarily that they're going to win the objective because we have 30 stacks already for Team Cat. So the bird is in. But I'm not so sure if they can take this one. With a bit of good outside poke, that might still end up with a win on the first Punisher for Team Cat. Yeah, but then again they lose Sylvanas here to Falstad, so that's a little bit of a bad move. That definitely doesn't help their cause. Level 7 will be ready once they get another minion or two. And 33 to 23, Blaze 38, they should be able to get it. Blaze, they got 38, they need 2 more, just 2 more, but they're losing another one, they're losing Stukov. No way, not like this, 39. They're gonna YOLO in for it, but they're losing too much, they're just losing too much. Sylvanas takes it, but as I said, they're losing too much. She gets both of the orbs in an attempt to survive and steal them away, but now it's 4 kills to 0. It all started with them saying, hey, let's not get level 7, let's just rush it, and they did it well at the beginning. But Sylvanas dying to Falstad, that was a bit the beginning of the end, because at that point they were already so committed that they just said, guys, we need to take that Punisher. The situation is already bad enough as is, and it will be worse if they take the Punisher. A couple of early game kills, we can work through that, but make sure that you get the objective so that we don't lose the top fort. And they got the objective, but it came at a big cost, because now it's 4 kills to 0 and there's an entire level lead for the blue team. Pentheus is far ahead now. So you can close that gap, especially if they can... I mean, what they pretty much have to do is with the next object, unless they get a few kills. Now the opposite is happening, isn't it? Yeah, there's the death of Sylvanas, and the Nubarak is also gonna die. Okay, that's really bad. 6 kills to 0 now. I was just about to say, the one way to bring this back, unless you get isolated kills against the blue team that close the experience gap, is to focus on the objective, wait until you have Odin, use Odin to secure the objective, and they'll try to push with Sylvanas. That's what you more or less have to do. But this is bad. This is really bad. Yeah, right now, with level 10, oh, I'm a bit afraid for Team Cat. They might have risked too much there. There's the Gorge. Yeah, Malfurion and Stitches have to coordinate this a bit better, but they also had Gust, so that's all that they need. And they get another kill. That's 7. But you need structures. Kills are not really the most important thing here. Of course, you want to keep the opponent down and you want to snowball this even further, establish that lead, build on it, and then get a talent advantage. But you gotta understand too that you have to take some structures down. That's where Greymane is incredibly important, because he's going to be the one dealing the most damage to structures. So they are able to do some work down here. Falstad had some problems against here at the bottom of the map, but in the middle they opened at least the wall up, and they're now nearly 2 levels ahead. So yeah, that is a bit bonkers. Here comes the Cocoon. Okay, they're trying for Malf, but there's assistance there right away, so that's pretty much a burnt cooldown and nothing else. Not much more that they can do with that. Okay, all the way up at the top, still our little 1v1 here. Yeah, guys, this could be a much more one-sided game than we expected from the 5th one. It all depends on how Team Cat can just rally everyone up now and bring this one back. I'm a little bit worried though. But again, time will tell. If they are in a space where they say, okay guys, this is bad, but let's just take it one fight at a time, then they can definitely bring it back. But they have to make a couple of moves, and this attempted gank on Hogga is one of the options that they had. Now, it doesn't really work out. Another shrine is now activating, and I get the impression that it's inevitable for level 13 to not be on the board. They try to go for Nubarak. He's going to dive out. There's a nice... That was a beautiful play from Blaze. He knew that they would come, but that gust into the tower range. Sylvana's helping out as much as she can. Falls that low. The hook! No! Oh, but another stun! Another stun and the kill against Greymane! Oh, and against Stitches! Are you kidding me? Oh my god! They have it! They have it! They are talent behind still, but they closed the gap a little bit, and now they can go for the objective and then push with Sylvanas. That's all that was needed. The Gorge on the Nubarak, bringing him behind the wall. Blaze with 2 stuns that were incredible. And an insane Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas to silence them. What a fight. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful by Team Cat. And now with level 13 about to drop into their hand, they have a big opportunity here. Yeah, they are back to business, still a level behind, but they can change that right now with the Arcane Punisher and of course with the Sylvanas pressure. Stukov, he has his virulent reaction, it's in, and here comes that play. Yeah, and they need to try to... I mean, kills would be great, but even Sylvanas just helping to enhance this push even further is going to be such a huge, big difference. They're going to take the first fort of the game 100%. The question is more, how much can they close the experience gap? Because that's where they're still having a disadvantage. But now they can move down to the bottom, maybe attack that too. They're already stealing some of those camps away. Always have to keep Stitches in mind that he doesn't land that hook that he is going to throw out eventually. But yeah, they're taking this one, and there's the Gorge. But it's a Nubarak. He should be able to dive out. Oh, the Gust! Nice dodge! Nice dodge on the Gust. But a Nubarak still dies. So the hook connected, a Nubarak died, Gust was used, Stukov still took the next camp, mid lane pushes, and we are at the top. But yeah, that was some awesome stuff. 8 kills to 2. 15 to 14 right now. Yeah, good stuff here. Really, really good stuff. Okay, Heroes going for the attack. Trying to make their players there. Maybe get 16 for the next objective if they can. I mean, it hasn't been announced yet, but they have to close. They should be able to do that. Objective hasn't been announced yet. As long as they're getting a few more minion waves, they need to soak the experience up at the top. Sylvanas is doing some damage down here. And plays it too aggressively and dies as a result. No, doesn't die! Doesn't die! Instead turns it around and they nearly get Greymane. Falstad flew in, but yeah. Hero has to be really careful. With Stitches against him, he can't just rely on his wave to jump out, because a good Stitches player knows exactly where he needs to land that hook. So that was a clutch one. That was really tricky. But boy, what a series. What a series. Right now, Bunk... Oh my god, he bunk... Did he fat finger or did he just expect the hook to come in? Yeah, he might have fat fingered this. Or just played it safe. Let's ear on the side of playing it safe. Oh, the hook, the gorge, and he doesn't have bunker. No, he doesn't have bunker anymore. But they're all here to help him. God, what a series! What a series! All over the place now. Still that level advantage, but it's 16 versus 16 for the next objective. And you guessed it, that is the only thing that matters right now. 16 versus 16 is what's the really important part. And yep, that's all that they gotta do for the time being. Forest is still at the bottom. They're starting to also take the camps up at the top. Both teams do. And there's the rest of the experience ticking in. This fight is going to tell us a lot of how the game is going to plan out. Because if the blue team still wins the battle and wins the Punisher, then obviously they're going to extend that lead that they have even further, which then leads us to an early level 20, or at least that's what you would assume, right? So if the red team takes it, they can try and snowball the play with Sylvanas even further. This is maybe already an early decision on who goes to the grand final, this battle. And a very, very early ult from Malfurion. Yeah, that is bad news for them. That's a huge ult that was just used. Now, Malfurion is so impactful in these team fights, and we have Odin not used yet, so popping that ult this early and expecting the bit battle to unfold is an issue. Yeah, the lock, the root! Well done, but Nubarak still dies. They still get the kill, and Nubarak is down. These Stitches setups are just so powerful for them, and there's the second one. The blue team, they're able to pull that off. Great play by them. Back and forth. The final map is as awesome as the previous ones. Back and forth play here between the two teams. Aggression on all sides as this is panning out. But yeah, that is some sick Heroes of the Storm that we're seeing in this tournament. And they're already going for the top 4 because, well, it's a 5 versus 3. So you don't have to risk anything. You don't have to wait it out. You don't have to wait for the Punisher. You just move in and you try to go for the keep. And again, their goal is going to be to snowball this towards the objective. Towards the, their objective, which is going to be level 20. And get the fort here too. The fort and the keep. Yeah, that is a great move now through the top lane. With that Mortar Punisher, imagine them getting another hook here. Imagine another hook at this point. They're already looking for it. I mean, you see it. Gonda is right there. There's the Tranquility being used. Okay, we have them with Odin. Here comes Falstad. Gust into the corner. They're trying to. The hook is there. The root as well. But Arpion was expecting it and moved out. But they're eating so much damage right now. And they want that keep. The Punisher. 15 HP is still there. And there it is. They take it. Nicely done. And now, not like this. He doesn't have bunker. No way. They get it all. They get the keep. They get the kill. And they nearly have level 20. They absolutely control the flow of the game right now. Damn, son. That's a push into the mid lane for another fort that they should get, but the minions, yeah, they're not there, so they're rotating into the bot lane and the camps that are on the way. Instead, give Forza an opportunity to clear the wave, get level 20 in the process. But oh boy, what a game. And initially, the big lead, of course, for the blue team, since the red team bit off a little bit more that they could chew in the first fight. Then the comeback, and now they turn it again. This is just insane. Stitches with the master hooker. And they want structures. More than a level behind now. More than a level behind. No chance to hold that fort. If they commit, they're going to get it. It's all about the question of whether they are not committing or not. Are they willing to fight here since they have the Storm Talons? They bring the minion waves in. They have the Khaldor camps. They even clear out all of the side walls. Don't want to give any vision. And the fort goes down. Big structural advantage now. Especially, of course, at the top lane. Continuous catapults over there. Yeah, and that brings us into the mid lane. Another attempt at a fight. Yeah, there's even a camp at the bottom of the map now, so they can start to poke this down slowly, because the next one is also at the bottom. And I like this too. I mean, what they're doing is they're just looking at the minimap and saying, guys, we have a level 20 advantage. Team Cat won't fight us if they don't have to. So what do? Let's take whatever we can. And that's what they're currently trying. There's another hook, and can they get him? They gust him into the corner, the bunker. The fort is down, and they get out. They're nearly connected. They're nearly connected with Sylvanas. Still, only 2 keeps left. It's the only thing that they have left. 2 keeps, that's it. Everything else was taken by Fentios. Oh, what a series. Beautiful. Trader King on a Nubarak. A Nubarak with a Trader King, an adjustment because of all the plays that we've seen so far with those crazy hooks against him. He's been dying over and over again because of the hooks and how well coordinated the response was. There was a couple of moments when Malfurion missed out on the follow-up, or they weren't really coordinated properly. Didn't really agree on where the route should be. But yeah, he had... You see, this is another one. He didn't root because Stitches had still cooldown on Gorge. But, well, he didn't root because he expected the Gorge, but Stitches still had it on cooldown. So communication could sometimes be a little bit better there, but obviously we are massively nitpicking at this point. Yep, this is going to be an important one, and boys, look at this. Triple catapult on the core. Yeah, they have to go back and defend this. They need to give this one up. They cannot fight for it. Core is already losing some hit points. Not a lot, but 10% are gone. And it's a freebie on the objective. Because of that bot lane, top lane pressure, there is just no other chance. You need to go back, you need to defend this, or you're going to lose the game right then and there. With this, we now have camps taken through the mid lane, and we have, of course, also the bot lane push, which is even more important. Falstad, yeah, he's going to join them right away. And they might even get the kill here. Bunker is up. There's the jump. Procced. That's the problem. Jump is procced, and oh boy, they're rolling to the top. The hook once again. The gust into a corner. They're trying to get the kill. Falstad is dead, but if they can kill a Nubarak, it won't matter. And no, 29. He has the shield. Sylvanas is dead too. Stitches with the Nubarak kill. They go for Tychus. The hook this time misses. The root does it too. Oh, wow. These games. And now it's time for Blaze to maybe die as well. He moves away from the hook. The keep is completely exposed though. The goal of Team Cat is not to save the keep. They're trying to ensure that the core is not gonna fall too. That's their problem. But I don't think they can. It's 3 against 4. 3 against 4 and the Punisher on top of that. How do you survive this? And the answer is you shouldn't be able to. Here comes the play for the core, for the slot in the grand final. And Team Pantheos, they pull it off, don't they? Greymane is dead. Greymane is dead. Can they save it? 12, 9%. No, they cannot. It's game, and Team Pantheos moves on to the grand final. GG.